to give you a few greetings. A little greeting from Kawaii Kon. Hello from Wendee. How's everybody doing from Tatsuki? And please don't hurt me. Ururu just wants to have fun. Yoroshiku. So, this is my first time here at this amazing convention center and here on this island with all of you, and it's a huge honor to have been invited, and it took months of planning, and it's just so exciting that it's finally here. And I've been here for a couple of days and just been having a great time. And honestly, I think this is the most beautiful convention center I've ever seen. This is the best facility and such a great turnout. Nobody gets rained on when you're walking back and forth from the convention center. Does that happen? You guys get rained on?
Sometimes.
So, how would you like to conduct this? Do you want me to tell you a little about myself, take some questions, any requests? Okay. All right. Well, I am one of those staples in this crazy animation world that we love so much. I got my start with Robotech way back when. I had a very interesting stroke of luck. A friend of mine was a live sound engineer. He used to do mixed concerts for major bands and was a British friend. And when he was in between tours, he would do a little bit of engineering work for a production house called Intersound that Harmony Gold was utilizing at the time. And he knew about all the crazy people living inside my head and said, you know, you really should do something with this, you know, problem you have with all this schizophrenia that you have manifesting in all these different voices and people. And he said, would you like to come watch a session? And, you know, I'm like, now, let's go, yes. And I knew I would get into animation somehow, but I just really had no idea how that was going to come about. It's a very tricky business to really make your way in, especially in Hollywood, California, the heart of the movie and entertainment industry, where there's incredible talent and a huge body of able people who can do what I do and can, you know, who had to help me learn how to do it as well at one time. So I didn't really know how I would get in, but I had this wonderful stroke of luck, as I say, and I went to observe this audition. And they had a break in the schedule, and there was someone who was supposed to show up who did not, and the producers turned around and said, if you're an actress, would you like to audition? And I don't really remember my feet touching the floor. I suddenly was in the studio and I was looking at this anime, this stuff, this incredible art form that I didn't really know had a name, or that all of you wonderful fans were supporting, or how to be part of it, but I knew it was something that I connected with immediately, and I felt very deeply passionate about it. I almost had an intuitive wave wash over me that something incredible was happening to me at that moment, and that it was going to affect my life and turn my career in a different direction that I never expected. It wasn't something I set out to do in any way. I was a singer, and I had been working in studios, and I was familiar with how a studio atmosphere was conducted professionally. I was used to hearing my voice. That's one of the things that's very difficult when you start out. You start hearing your playbacks in your headphones, and it's very foreign, and you think, is that how I sound? And I think I sound like this, or, you know, you just sound so obnoxious, or I kept saying, I sound so young. What is... I sound like a kid. And they're like, well, that's a good thing. You can play children. And thank goodness I've been able to for many years since. Segueing into another discussion, as a voice actor, you know, you can be a chameleon. You can play. I'm cast for things as a voice actor that I'd never be cast for on stage. I just did this part in a series called Monster. Strange show, very, very dark and interesting. Yeah, cool show. I played Margot Langer, this chain-smoking, overweight, sort of wicked, old, you know, let's see, she wasn't really a call girl, she was a madam. And when I saw her, she just kind of looked egg-shaped and ginormous, and this huge nose, and chain-smoking, and grotesque, and I'm like, let me at her. Definitely, I want to do this. You know, you want to walk in the shoes of all kinds of characters, and take all the opportunity that you get to play characters you wouldn't normally play on screen or on stage. So anyway, after I got into that little audition, I just felt like there's all this amazing stuff happening in these studios and I want to be a part of it. And, well, at least I got an opportunity to try it out, and maybe someday I'll get another chance. And about a month later, I got a phone call saying I booked Vanessa Leeds, one of the Bridge Bunnies, and I had no idea. And now when I hear the work that I did, I almost cringe, because it was the beginning. You have to start somewhere. And I sounded so scared. Every single cue was, "Captain, I think we're about to crash. Sir, I don't think we're going to be able to maneuver past this asteroid." So she was just melting down constantly, and it was a great way to channel my nervousness into a growing and learning experience. So anyway, from there, I was able to work with the wonderful late Carl Masek, who we just lost last year, and his vision of Robotech was so much in his mind and so complex and so incredible that none of us really imagined what the outcome would be. But I guess he took these amazing series and reworked them into a whole new set of stories. And in the course of working with Carl, he started developing me more as an individual and as talent, and soon started casting me in lead characters. I played Nadia, the Blue Water originally. I did that one for some time. I think we had over 38 episodes, something like that. And let's see, we did a bunch of stuff. We did Tenchi Muyo, and yes, did that. I did Dirty Pair with him. This goes way back. Ixer 1. All these unusual kind of classics in some ways. So after over a period of time, I realized that to really stay as a permanent fixture in this industry, that I would need, as a woman, to diversify. And the way this works is that there's always more characters for males in entertainment, because the philosophy is men will watch a male lead show as well as women, but men won't necessarily watch a female lead show, but the girls will. And the majority of the market tends to be men, but I see that this demographic is changing. I see the women representing today. This is a beautiful thing. And as we all, share our favorite stuff with the next generation, and it grows, and more girls are getting into gaming and all these other wonderful facets of what we do. So there are more job opportunities for women, but it's still not an equal playing field. Men have more roles, men are more in demand, and so my answer to diversifying was to get into directing and adapting and writing lyrics and singing and doing theme songs and things like that. So just sort of sprinkling my work around anywhere I could in post-production, and I really love the intimacy of being in a studio and working with a small team of people and putting the puzzle pieces together to create a completed production. And the whole experience of what anime has given me in my career is something I cherish on every level, and it's helped me to be a better artist as far as working in voicing films, in playing other characters for TV series, you name it. So I have so much love and affection for this great genre that we're all here to celebrate today. So that's just the beginning of my career. I could tell you more about my directing and writing career, producing. Certainly, I think of myself still as an actor. I trained as an actor. I was a choreographer and a dancer. I taught dance classes to support myself as an up-and-coming actress, and I used to work in soap operas and did a lot of plays in Hollywood. And soon I found that my career was turning. I didn't have to pursue work as hard as the phone started ringing, and I started getting more and more requests and kind of making a name for myself. And just another note about why you often see the same names, and when you see the cast of characters credit roll, you often see characters names that you hear over and over again. Sometimes you might not recognize their voices right away, but when you see the name, you'll be like, yeah, I thought that might have been that person. Well, there's a certain core group of us that work a lot, because dubbing is an interesting right brain, left brain skill. It's almost like playing an instrument. You have to learn timing and syncopation and really matching those flaps so it looks like the native language coming out of the characters. That's something, especially in Los Angeles, that we hone, that we really put tremendous time and energy into to try to make it look like it is an authentically spoken English production. And of course, our tricky balance is to maintain the spirit of the Japanese, rewriting the dialogue but not changing the content.